Black Desert. You know, I'm so used to Black Desert. Oh my god.
And it could easily, not work great. Speaking of characters, the main character looks kind of generic. His name's Cliff, but there are at least some options when you're out in the world. He might look forgettable, but his power set is pretty standout, I'd say. The level of aerial action in Crimson Desert has that, the Tears of the Kingdom style
Can
falling
you
from the
punch a
sky. The floating islands,
PV?
the puzzles, a full-on dragon
No,
mount, again,
dude.
to much to Nintendo's chagrin. There's a Da Vinci tank, a flying machine out of Ace Combat, a giant crab that looks like Shadow of Colossus. According to the developers, there's just going to be a lot of secrets and unmarked locations as well. They haven't confirmed caves, but there's a possibility of dungeons and interesting interiors. We know there are ancient contraptions that can be repaired and generally more puzzle-focused sections of the game as well, where you enter the void in the
Never
sky.
played Desert.
Like shrines from Breath
Yeah,
of the
never
Wild.
played Black
How
Desert.
could be
Yeah.
different, who knows? And keep in mind,
It's
there's
okay.
also all this and massive war battles.
The lack of
Another
clarity
aspect
that's
that we should
concerning
very
me. Yeah, like legit, I'm worried that this game is essentially gonna be like as wide as an ocean, but the depth is just gonna be nothing. Um, so I'm kinda concerned here.
concerned about. Could be all very brainless. You're spamming arrows, support powers against hordes of enemies. Who knows? It's possible to end up feeling like a shallow activity among dozens of
Deep
others.
as a puddle,
But again,
yeah.
I don't know. Is it impossible? Is it real? Is it the real life or is it just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, No escape from reality? Obviously the biggest concern other than a possible invasive cash shot.
Yeah. Because like literally, it takes if you walk from end to end, it literally takes 6 hours. I don't know, dude. It's just sus. Why does the food look so good?
Inch deep. We already
Real.
know that's not the case with the combat
So real.
system, though. If there are people that are complaining about it being too complex, so combat.
Plus, it just looks like a slower paced Black Desert to me. To be honest, like, tell me, I don't know. Like here, let me show you guys. So this is like Black Desert gameplay. Had many years. No, yeah, I mean it did. I mean it was always pretty fast combat, you know. So totally understand. Hello, Clem. Welcome in. Also, Big, did you change the to just chatting? I forgot. I'm bad. But yeah, I don't know, you guys. I mean, Lily there's no, to me, there's no graphical difference between Crimson Desert and Black Desert. Like, it literally looks the exact same. I don't know. So, alright, so if you guys got a grasp on this combat, it's pretty fucking fast. And then looking at Crimson Desert, it's like
Everything else could be shallow, or it may not.
it's
be the
slower
case, or it
paced,
may
yeah,
be the
but
case. And that's actually something that works in the game's favor. I don't know. I think you could hardly
I
call.
I don't know. It just looks it looks like the same game to me.
Is it good that you can do that much stuff? I don't know.
Because I
Maybe
played a
dislike
shit ton
it.
of Black Desert.
Could I have spent that time doing something that I liked more? I don't know. There's no way to find out either. Honestly, like we've seen so much of this game, and yet it's really hard to say exactly what it's going to be. I think they've intentionally done that.
Could
too.
be more story. I mean, it's obviously gonna be more story focused, but I'm just worried it's just gonna be the same. Like, I mean, it's not gonna be like mindless questing because Black Desert was just going from place to place and like killing mobs over and over again, and maybe some bosses. I never got to end game though, so I wouldn't know really, but
wide open for speculation.
Because
If
they
you
do
just
have
look
dungeons,
at what
but
they're
not many.
showing you without reading between the lines, it seems too good to be true. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, these are these games are both by Pearl Abyss.
Not just a pie in the
So
sky investor pitch. This is a real game that is launching in less than a month, and despite some cautious previews, and I stress some cautious previews amongst many very positive ones, it appears to be the real deal. Even
single
with all
player
that
can be a
enthusiasm,
finishable
they could
experience
still add that cash
or
shop.
a
That's
lifestyle
distinctly
game.
possible. It's
Yeah.
not like Pearl Abyss has pulled no sketchy things with their Black Desert Online, which is a live service game, and you pretty much can only do sketchy things with that type of a thing. Like, is there an honest business model that works with live service? Certainly not
Swedish,
to the
welcome
extent
in.
that it needs to operate, but this is not a free-to-play game. You pay $70 and that's it. Crimson Desert looks fantastic. Graphically, it's an absolute powerhouse, and the combat looks more fluid and hard-hitting. Gives you lots of options. to
It
mix
literally just looks the same as Black Desert. I don't see why people are glazing this game for its graphics.
name, body slam, blah blah. You can customize the mech in the fantasy games. There's machine guns and jetpacks and missiles in the fantasy game. I mean, there's so much stuff in this game. Even if it ends up being kind of a No Man's Sky, lots of stuff, not a lot of
Pre-ordered.
stuff
Oh
and
my
everything,
god,
I can't
allegory.
imagine being that disappointed by it. It looks like it could be the game to beat this year, at least until we learn
Unironically.
more about GTA 6.
I mean,
I'm sure that game will be
I'm
fun.
just really concerned about like am I gonna get bored within like 10 hours? Because usually open world games don't really stick with me. So it's just, yeah, I mean, all right, let's watch this one.
Me do what I do, just like their website creation tools help millions this channel. So the hype for this game
I'm curious.
is absolutely insane, and I think that might come as a surprise to at least a few of you. Like, if you're already dialed into this thing, you'd know that that hype is out there, but if you're not, you might be like, wait, this is the first time I'm hearing about this game. And I think there are some reasons that this is sitting in a few people's blind spots. Number one, it comes from Pearl Abyss, who are a Korean studio that have never made a game intended for a Western console audience. Their main thing before this was Black Desert Online, the archetypical Korean MMO with all the visual style and grind that comes with that. Secondly, this game doesn't neatly fit into any typical genre
Wait,
bucket,
wait,
and
what
so I'm
what was his cyberpunk take? I didn't really look up on that. I feel you. The open world is a red flag to me. I have a lot of games where it just gets to the open world part, I get distracted and never finish the story. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I just get kind of bored really fast. Like, you know,
sure that more than a few people looked at it and thought,
he was bragging about how amazing the game it was before it crashed and burned at launch. I mean, it was kind of, you know, I mean, they're gonna work. They were gonna work on it. So, like, you know, I mean, it just had a rough launch. You know.
I don't know what the fuck that is, I guess it's not for me. But whether you're already on the hype train or you're just seeing this game for the very first time, there's probably one question that's dominating your thoughts. Is this game real? Can you really fly a dragon and a mech? Can a game really be this big and look this good? Sure, the combat looks flashy, but does it actually play well?
Okay, see, hold on. One thing that bothers me is that, like, you can do the same dragon riding, like, in Black Desert. Like, here, watch this shit. So it's like you can do the exact same. It's like it really. I don't know.
For example, as you can see, when I try this dragon mode,
Like,
with
it
the
just-
highest altitude from Mountain of Eternal Winter, surprisingly,
I don't know. It just looks like really just
So
seems.
during area, even you touch land when mounting this dragon mount, your
Like
character
it doesn't look any different. I'm so like I don't know. Am I tweaking you guys? Am I judging the game too harshly, maybe. But
recently at an event hosted by Pearl Abyss, and I can tell you that after the
uh,
length of time playing the game, I'm definitely able to answer one of those questions, but I'm not quite yet ready to answer the second. I can tell you that this game is definitely real. 100%.
oh yeah, no, those games are peak. Those games are absolutely peak. Wait, no, I'm not being gaslit. So trash still is. They lied to me. I mean, everyone has their own opinion. So like, I get that. I mean, it's the world. You're not. You don't have to agree with everything, and that's fine.
100%. You see these visuals? This is running at 1440p max settings on an AMD RX 9070, and it's running super smooth, like absolutely incredible, and it's delivering some truly absurd draw distances and lighting and weather effects. Technically, this is the sort of game where I wouldn't believe it until I'd actually played it for myself, and now that I've actually played it, I still can barely believe it, but it's real, it definitely is. From a gameplay perspective, everything you've seen is 100% real as well. The combat has a lot of input depth that essentially makes it an open world character action game. There really is a summonable dragon to fly and a mech to drive, and I can confirm that because I flew it and I drove it. There really is a physics-based approach to puzzle solving that asks you to move and break things to creatively solve puzzles. There really is a massive world made up of 5 distinct biomes, each of them with their own
You're not judging harshly enough, but the things that will actually make the game are not what the dude is talking about. I mean, I'm just judging it off like what I played in BDO. So like, I don't know, nothing here is like grasping my like, it's not really speaking to me as much as I wanted it to. Because I mean, I'm sure if I never played BDO, I would be like super into this game. But because I spent so many hours playing Black Desert Online, I'm just kind of just not. I don't know. I'm like cautious about it. I'm not like super. I mean, I'm excited for it, but like I'm not like hyped for it. Does that make sense? Trust this game so much, right? I get that. Um, hold on. I don't like the existence of Clockwork Dragon. Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard. I'm gonna be honest. In principle, it should be the perfect game. I've always wanted from Western devs. I mean, it does seem like it's trying to appeal to like the Western style. Part of you is thinking something like, "Oh, did they repackage BDO for consoles?" I mean, I'm just worried the game isn't gonna have enough. Like BDO has so much, and Crimson Desert, I don't know. It just seems like they shoved everything into a game. Like they shoved just so many things into this game, and it feels like a soup, I guess. I don't hate live service, but you only have enough personal bandwidth to play one stream at a time. Yeah, pretty much. All these companies are making and for competing to my daily time. You're coming from BDO players, so get that isn't compelling. Yeah, pretty much. It looks a bit stiff as well. I mean, I'll never know until once I play it. So like once I play it, it'll be fine. Where's our fishing minigame? There's fishing in this. There's fishing, gardening, or not gardening. Well, that's a shit ton of minigames. Hold on.
good part to play in your grand adventure. The list goes on and on. Nothing that Pearl Abyss has shown you in their cinematic or gameplay trailers has been faked. In fact, I'd say they've been holding back, and the real game has even more surprises.
You can?
in store.
Okay,
so
holy
as for
shit.
that second question, is it good? Why can't I answer that after 6 hours of playtime? Surely that's enough time to get some sense, right? Well, here's the thing. The preview was broken up into 2 blocks. About 4 hours spent with the game's introduction, and then 2 hours spent with the game's endgame state, where I had a fully leveled up character,
Kendrick,
go
Steve,
anywhere,
oh my
do
god.
anything, fight some endgame bosses, etc. That second half showed me the potential of this game. The boss encounters were fantastic, and the freedom to go anywhere was liberating when the moment-to-moment combat of a fully upgraded, fully geared character was exhilarating.
War,
I got
oh
to
my god,
experience
Chucky,
the
why?
Unlock sandbox in a game that is very sandbox driven, and it was great, and it made me really excited for Crimson Desert. And I desperately needed that injection of excitement because the first couple of hours that I played with this game weren't great. They just weren't, but you've got to understand why. Crimson Desert is one of the most systems-heavy action games I've ever played, with possibly the most complex control scheme I've ever experienced in an action game that naturally
Stray
creates
Cats
a
at home, I
gigantic
don't.
learning curve as you are constantly being introduced to new systems and new abilities and new control scheme elements for 4 hours straight. It's impossible to hold it all in your head, and
You
so that
can't
creates
tell.
a lot of
I mean, you
frustration early
can't,
on.
but like, I'm just, you know, I'm really just hoping that it starts off like really slow, and then it gets substantially better overall. Because like, you know, I don't know the full game, so.
But coupled with that is the fact that many of the things that the game wants you to do in that opening window are really poorly explained, either because they expect you to remember everything you've already been told, when that's basically impossible, or because the objectives themselves are just unclear. I'll put it this way. I did this preview with a number of other media and content creators, and there were Pearl Abyss staff hovering around us to help us out when we got stuck. They constantly had to stand over people's shoulders pointing out the solutions to problems so that we could keep progressing. And I was watching people around the room getting stuck on the exact same shit that I was getting stuck on because, like I said, it just was poorly explained. So that's painful, sure, but this game is so ambitious with everything that it's aiming for, I think it would be really unfair to judge it on the basis of a poor onboarding experience. The voice acting is superb. The visuals are absurd, the scope is gigantic, the combat is rich, the breadth of the gameplay on offer from puzzle solving to exploration to crafting is vast. There's just so much here, and above all else, I hope you take this away from my preview. I actually have a gut feeling that this is going to be pretty great. Weird and janky and uneven, but ultimately great, as I kept seeing flashes of brilliance.
Oh
when I
my
was
God,
playing,
Beryl,
and I kept
that's
dreaming
crazy.
of the moment when the tutorializing would end, and the control scheme would be firmly committed to muscle memory, and at
Yeah,
that
you
point,
can
I
do a
just
lot
began
in this
truly
game.
experiencing what Crimson Desert has to offer. I wasn't able to get to that point during this preview, but I don't think that's a cause for concern, in the sense that some games just take a while to warm up. This is definitely one of them, and despite its very slow and sometimes painful start, I walked out of this preview extremely excited to play more, and ultimately optimistic about what Crimson Desert might end up being.
She'd have to run ragged if she could.
I mean, honestly, I'm just hope, you know, I just hope I'm proven wrong. I really hope like it starts off slow, but I really hope I just warm up to it by the end of it. Because as it stands, I'm just really like cautious about it. But yeah, I just want to be proven wrong when I play it. I mean, I'm gonna play it, obviously, but
Typically, I like to break up most of my videos into discrete buckets like story, visuals, gameplay, etc. But for the purposes of this, I think it's better for me to walk through
want
my
to
preview
jump on the
experience
bloody walks.
sequentially,
Oh my
because I think
God.
it's a better way to show you the highs and lows of what this is all about. Okay, so Crimson Desert begins rather suddenly. You click the start button and then you're Cliff, standing there in the dead of night with a torch-lit camp in front of you. Cliff is the game's fully voiced protagonist, by the way, and there's no character creation. Later on, you'll actually unlock other playable characters with their own storylines and combat styles and itemization, but even then, it does appear as though Cliff remains the main protagonist throughout the entire game. As soon as you load in, you'll probably be thinking to yourself, holy shit, this game looks really good, and you'd be right. Crimson Desert is running on Pearl Abyss's proprietary engine that they call Black Space, and talking to the game's PR manager, he informed me that the engine was built from scratch, so it's not a fork of their previous engine that powers their MMO, and this engine was built with the express purpose of powering single-player open-world games that can run on a console. I'll talk about different aspects of the visuals as I go, but in this moment, three things really stood out to me. Number one was foliage density. I mean, you can see it here, and there's a lot of it.
Dude, it
Number
looks
two,
heavy. Yeah, I'm
foliage
hoping.
reactivity, because damn if it isn't all moving in the galing wind, with things like fireflies and floating leaves adding further texture to the setting. Finally, there's the darkness and the lighting, and there's a better showcase for this later on, but this is a game where darkness is actually dark, and the effect of torchlight is highly localized. That makes the darkness really matter in a way that it does in few other games. Digital Foundry compared it to Dragon's Dogma, which I think is an extremely useful comparison for many reasons that we'll come back to later.
I don't
Anyway,
know. Like, I'm personally, I'm really looking forward to Toxic Commando, which is basically World War Z 2.0. I mean, it's by the same devs. So me, Leaf, Rana, and Astray are gonna enjoy the fuck out of that game. I'm so hyped for that game. Oh my god.
Eventually you start chatting with people, and this is when two of the game's biggest strengths reveal themselves: voice acting and tone. I think this cutscene really showcases it well.
We're just gonna sit here sipping this pig swill. I'd rather eat a blood-based
Hey, you looking to get some manners beaten into you? You better fucking pick that up.
Or what, Jan? You gonna make me?
Fine, that's enough.
Forget it.
So a few things here. Number one, pretty good voice acting, huh? They're clearly going for a very Western fantasy vibe, and they've got voice actors that feel like they've been pulled straight out of Game of Thrones. And then there's the tone. It's earnest, self-serious, adult, nothing remotely...
Can't beat Marathon. No, dude. Okay, I gotta be honest, you guys. I played Marathon with Yuria the other day, and I was bored within like 20 minutes. Oh my god, that game is so shit. Like, it's exactly what you think watching it. It's so boring. It's empty. It's just a whole lot of nothing. It's a whole nothing burger. Like, what? Okay, so I saw Leaf and Rana refunded it within the hour. But like, what were they saying about the game when they played it? I was very curious about that, actually. Oh my god! But when I played it, it was so bad. It was so bad. Nah, just give him a year. Oh my god, dude. I have no idea what's going on. I was on. Yeah, you were here for that, Puck. I hated it. I fucking hated Marathon. Yeah, they only streamed it for like 40 minutes, and then they just went Marvel Rivals. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a whole lot of nothing. It's just a big pile of nothing. And I don't know why people are glazing it. Like, solely because it's from Bungie, people are like, oh, this is a good game. I can't agree with that. Like, I really can't. It has no... It's just a whole nothing burger.
PG here. The scene really pulled me in, to be honest, and most of the
Fun
scenes
losing
I saw
than
throughout
playing
my playthrough
Mermaids.
maintain
Oh,
a similar
God.
tone, at least when we're on the ground.
All right,
Soon
good night,
after that, we're
Reluctant.
attacked, and Cliff
Thank
and his
you.
Grey Mane clansmen are in a fight for survival. It's here that I got the first taste of combat, and the basics are all there. It's light attacks, heavy attacks, special attacks using button combos, dodges, parries, etc. It's a real power fantasy in the sense that the enemies you're fighting don't pose too much of a threat on their own, but there's a lot of them, and they ragdoll around when you hit them with a heavy attack, and it's all built towards letting you deal damage rather than constantly being on the defensive. The combat model evolves significantly later in the game, but from what I can tell, it's less about enemies becoming more dangerous and more about you becoming more dangerous, with really advanced inputs and combos that allow you to do some pretty crazy stuff. Anyway, despite Cliff's best efforts,
The
battle
Bungie is the
does
same. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's wild. It's just, God.
exactly
I
go
miss
his way.
Halo.
What's that? Got something to say?
Oh my god.
Give Gian my regards.
So Cliff,
I'm really hoping the story is good here. Because if I'm gonna spend like what 50, 70 hours in this game, I don't know, I'm hoping it'll be good. Cream says the brand recognition means nothing when the only person on it has been there and was the only person that has been there since it was the greatest is the Janny?
KIA. That's the end of him, right? Oh, what? He suddenly awakens in a set of weird stone
Janitor.
ruins?
Oh,
Guess
yeah,
there's more to his story.
True.
This is the first time you encounter the Abyss architecture, which is essentially the
See, I don't know, guys. Like, is it weird if I'm not into where the winds meet? I'm not a big fan of the Eastern aesthetic for games. That's just my opinion. So, I'm just not really into that. I know it's a good game, but like I'm just not the Eastern shit, I guess.
sky
A
isle
bit?
stuff
Okay.
from Tears of the Kingdom.
Hey,
sits
desert
in the
landscapes?
sky,
Yeah.
And it looks the same, and it's basically all puzzles, but we'll talk more about it later. For now, we start to learn about traversal in the game, and it's here that we meet one of the first curious quirks in the control scheme. You can just press square to jump in this game like any other, but holding the L1 button when your weapon is sheathed brings up a cursor that you can use to precisely target something in the game world. If you're using it in town, you might use it to target an item on a table you want to pick up or a specific NPC you want to chat to. Here,
Oh yeah, you guys want to see that shit? Hold on, let me find it. Wait, no, there's got to be like a video on it. Hold on, Crimson. This is gonna put me on a watch list or something. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Come on, it's gotta be somewhere. Can someone send me a link to it? I know it's on Twitter, so I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it. Can someone send me a link? I know it's on Twitter somewhere. Fuck. All right.
me do what I do, just like their website creation
Oh
tools
my
help
God, it
millions
was
of
said
people
again.
start new careers.
Join the watch list. Okay, no way.
I don't think that's a poor onboarding experience. The voice acting preview creation later on, you'll actually unlock
Post
things
it
that really
on
stood
the
out.
yeah. Post it.
Number
Post
one
it on
was
the
foliage
Discord.
density.
I
I
wanna
mean, you can see it here, and there's a lot of it. Number two, foliage reactivity, because damn if it isn't all moving in the galing wind with things like fireflies.
Wait,
and
are you
foliage
watch
leaves adding
this?
further
Whoopsie.
texture to the setting. Finally, there's the tone. It's earnest, self-serious, adult, nothing remotely PG here. The scene really pulled me in, to be honest, and most of the scenes I saw throughout my playthrough maintained a similar tone, at least when we're on the ground. Soon after that, we're attacked, and Cliff and his Greymane clansmen are in a fight for survival. It's here that I got the first taste of combat, and the basics are all there. It's light attacks, heavy attacks, special attacks using button combos, dodges, parries, etc. It's a real power fantasy, in the sense that the enemies you're fighting don't pose too much of a threat on their own, but there's a lot of them,
shit. Okay,
and they
I
ragdoll
can't-
around when you hit them with a heavy attack, and it's all
Can't
built
do it
towards
like
letting
that?
you deal damage rather than constantly
Sorry.
being on the defensive. The combat model evolves significantly later in the game, but from what I can tell, it's less about enemies becoming more dangerous and more
Let
about
me find
you
it.
becoming more dangerous, with really advanced inputs and combos that allow you to do some pretty crazy stuff. Anyway, despite Cliff's best efforts, the battle doesn't exactly go his way.
What's that? Got something to say? Give Gian my regards.
So Cliff is KIA. That's the end of him, right? Oh, what? He
All right,
suddenly
all right, here, I
awakens
found
in a
it,
set
I found
of
it, I
weird
found it.
stone
Okay,
ruins.
so-
Guess there's more to his story. This is the first time you
All right,
encounter the Abyss
so, hold up.
architecture, which is essentially the Sky Isle stuff from
All right, so here, check this shit out. It's. Oh my God, it's so fucking funny, dude.
What are you doing now? You've got this all wrong.
Based, fucking based as hell.
Anyone there? Help me!
Oh my God, dude. Why can you do this? Well, you put Rex, don't say that, dude. Holy shit. Finally putting women in their place. Oh my God, dude. Holy fuck. Holy shit, bro. Oh my God, you guys.
from
You
Tears
guys
of the
are
Kingdom.
fucking
since it's
funny
in
as
the
hell. I
sky,
love you.
And it looks the same, and it's basically all puzzles, but we'll talk more about it later. For now, we start to learn about traversal in the game, and it's here that we meet when you might use it to
Okay, yeah, I was
precisely
here.
target where you want Cliff to jump.
What the
So
hell?
this is the first example of Crimson Desert doing something and me thinking to myself, huh, did you need to do that? Like if the movement and jumping models were naturally more sticky and guided you to likely destinations automatically, you wouldn't
That's kind of weird. I don't. Why won't they just make like a jump, like a grab ledge or something, or like jump here like Assassin's Creed or whatever? Why
need
aim
this.
it?
And that might be an upgrade because I found this targeting thing to be extremely unreliable in
What
later
the
sections
hell?
where I was targeting areas that were clearly jumpable, but the game just wouldn't let me do it.
Odd.
Anyway, after that we do some climbing. You can see the stamina bar here, very Breath of the Wild in the way that it functions. Soon after that, we get to another curious system and an example of how confusing some of the puzzle feedback is. I approach this area and
Yeah,
to
that
progress,
is
I need to
weird.
reflect light at this stone above the door. I get a prompt explaining to me that I have to press L1 and R1 to start the reflection process, and then I need to press L1 to actually focus the beam. And it's like,
No,
why
it's
couldn't I
okay,
just
Dan.
continue to hold L1 and R1?
But a
Why did I need
non-fanboy take. I'm ignoring that.
the button press. And so I kind of struggled with this because I was still holding R1 while pressing L1 again, and that didn't work. Eventually I figured it out and I could see the stone change color, but the door wasn't opening. And I was like, what am I doing wrong here? Eventually the Pearl Abyss person standing over my shoulder took pity on me, and he's like, no, you need to leave it on the stone door for longer, which was unclear because the game wasn't really giving me a lot of visual feedback that that's what I needed to do. And look, I know this sounds really nitpicky, I get it, for sure, but it is an example of something that continued to happen throughout my playthrough. An unclear control scheme in support of an unclear game system that's being used to solve an unclear puzzle. And not for nothing, but I didn't end up using this light reflection thing in any other puzzle solving throughout the rest of my 6-hour playthrough, so I gotta wonder how essential this game system is, a question we will definitely come back to about other things later on. I then get introduced to my lantern, which is an essential piece of kit because it not only lights up spaces, but shining it on certain things will reveal some of their secrets, like the flow of power through these cables, or later on the location of important pickup items. After that, I'm then mysteriously reconstituted and returned to the land of the living.
Greymane? Lost in thought again? Why don't we go inside?
In this new setting, we can appreciate Crimson Desert's beauty in a whole new light. Literally, daylight. You can see the draw distances allowing a clear view of the town in the background. You can see the glorious, vibrant use of color. You can see the vegetation remains as thick and as responsive as before, and you can see how much detail exists in man-made structures like this cabin.
To be fair, it is strictly a mistake to pay attention to any of my takes. I see. Kind of weird for a puzzle. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, I just won't know until I play it. I really hope this game doesn't like just man, I don't know, I'm just worried.
And its surrounding camp. It's crazy how good this game looks, honestly, and it only got more impressive as we pressed on, because soon after that we got on horseback, and I mean, just take a look at this.
The view from the bridge is absolutely breathtaking. It'd be a shame to just hurry past. Let's take it slow. We deserve a little serenity every now and again.
Just unbelievable. And it doesn't stop there, because right after we get this glorious showcase at scale, we then find ourselves in a little township, and we're able to see how much detail is poured into shopping stalls and cobbled streets and alleyways, and all the NPCs roaming around. It's rich with detail, but it also feels alive as NPCs are actually moving and chatting as opposed to just standing there mute. My goal at this point is to reach the tavern, and it's here that Crimson Desert starts doing that thing it continued to do throughout the rest of my playthrough, updating quest objectives without characters or things in the game telling me, so the only way I can progress is by following the quest text and minimap. Like here I reach the tavern like I've been told to do, and I'm looking around for who I should talk to, and I'm going upstairs and I'm talking to every NPC. Turns out the game updated my objective, and now I needed to go outside the tavern to talk to a beggar on the street. It's not like there was someone in the tavern being like, hey, I saw someone outside who wanted to talk to you, go check that out. There were no dialogue clues leading me to the next step, just the quest prompt itself updating, and that's actually how most of the quest progression worked during my playthrough. So I didn't really feel like I was responding to people or game events, I was more just responding to the changes in my minimap and my quest log. One thing I really enjoyed after this was walking around town, because my map was full of question marks, and the only way I could fill them in was to actually go to the place.
No,
and
I know, Big, don't worry. It's yeah, I'm just like it's 4 a.m. Sorry, it's very better reminder to read the whole message out loud. Yeah, you're right, you're right. Can we shoot the guy as soon as he says take it slow? I really hope so.
The person there that revealed that the question mark was actually a butcher.
No,
or an
I know,
alchemist or a
Big, don't
weapons
worry.
dealer.
4
And I
a.m.,
like the fact that I had to visit these places rather than just have them all
I
immediately.
think we're on the verge of the
After
golden
that was a
age of
sort of-
a game. AI is gonna do what. Yeah, I'm worried about what AI is gonna do for games in the future. I mean, if it can already make such good videos and such good photos and music, it's bound to happen. Man, I'm so scared.
confusing objective that involved equipping a broom in my tool slot and then standing on top of a chimney so I could sweep it out for some folks. They rewarded me with some new
Yeah,
clothes.
why? I don't understand. Why would you want to do a chimney mini game? I mean, I get it's like realistic, but like I'm kind of worried. Oh,
Which I could then use to
I
get
always
into the
wanted
little
that.
castle, since my old rags apparently weren't classy enough.
no, dude.
You don't look like a bad sort.
Okay, this is unnecessary. Yeah, it's
Everything
a bit,
seems to be
it's
in
a bit-
order?
I don't know. I'm just worried that this game is trying to do so many things at once. I'm just very, very worried. Why did Assassin's Creed put out Shadows? Answer unknown. Was I guard checking your house?
Stay out of trouble, you hear?
Earlier, the beggar had given me a key, and I then needed to find a door in
When
the
AI
castle
outdoes
to use it
choices in Baldur's Gate 3, I'll be stoked. Yeah, that'll be the day. I'm kind of excited for that.
on. Again, no NPC I spoke to told me that. It was just the quest updating itself. So I did that. I found the door, and after a quick trip through a portal, I found myself here. We're now back in the Abyss, which ironically is in the sky, and I unlocked my first fast travel point. And then it's time for a new gameplay system, the Axiom Force. By holding down L3, I can shoot out this hand thing, which I can then use to push or pull things. But this thing is quite tricky to use because it's very physics-based, in that if you're not standing in the right spot when you try to pull or push something, it won't work. So it's a combination of positioning your character and grappling at the right point, and then using the correct input commands to get it to do what you want it to do. I'm sure eventually this will be second nature, but at first it's definitely tricky. After this, more confusion. I then need to use the same grapple to rotate a thing, but the control scheme for the grapple has completely changed, where before I was using the triggers, it's now using the D-pad, and the way the device tells me that I've aligned it correctly is really subtle. True story, I got stuck on this, and a developer came over to kind of help me out, but then he got confused on it as well, and he actually had to call over someone else to help him do it, so I wasn't alone in that moment. Anyway, after that, there's this really weird, lengthy platforming sequence where you just jump along floating blocks, and then you get to this bit where you have to wait for a full minute for this floating block to do a loop. Literally 60 seconds of you just standing there with no way at all to speed it up.
Does it seem worth playing? Please do, especially with friends.
And when
I
you
mean,
do
yeah,
that-
honestly, any game is worth playing with friends. Like, legit, it's automatically a better time.
There's another floating block after that that makes you do the exact same thing. I'm like, what is going on here? Am I doing something wrong? So after that, more floating blocks and then a puzzle. I first needed to grab and move some blocks, and then I had to move this metal cover onto something. And when I do that, it's only kind of floating in front of where it needs to go. And then I learned a new ability called Force Palm, which I use to smack it into place. The puzzle then tells me to activate the Abyss power.
Yeah, I'm more so worried about the pacing issues of this game. I mean, I know every open world game has pacing issues, but like, I'm concerned this game might be too big, almost too ambitious. But take it with a grain of salt. I could be wrong. Who knows?
Supply without telling me what that is, and I'm super confused at this point.
Sorry, wait, I missed that. I got my reservations about this game. Last time I thought about an open world game was would be the next slice better was Dragon's Dogma 2 until it did not deliver. Yeah, I'm waiting on Dragon's Dogma 2. Maybe it'll get a DLC, but like I don't know. I kind of played it once and then just dropped it. So like I may go back to it eventually. Who knows? I just love Dragon Dogma. Yeah, I loved DD1 a lot. So if the game's combat is fun and as Shadow and Mortar, I'm happy. Yeah, real. Which is a shame because the combat in that game is still the best. It's super fun. Capcom gets no goodwill after DD2 and Wilds. Interesting take, T. Holy shit.
because I can see something that looks like a door that's not powered up, but when I force palm it, nothing happens. So I'm running around for ages trying to figure this out, like looking at everything, jumping on things, force punching stuff. Eventually, a developer comes up to me and he's like, oh, you have to climb onto that wall and then force palm the panel when you're hanging on it. And I'm like, how the fuck would I have known to do that? I spoke to other people playing at lunch and we're all like, yo, they need to fix that shit because your average player is not getting through that puzzle without a trip to YouTube. After that, I met this witch lady who was definitely rocking some very classically inspired getup, and then seemingly out of nowhere, she's like,
Here, take these wings.
a little confused but willing to go with it, Cliff takes a leap of faith. Now, I am
Journalist
unsure why the
problems?
wings
Maybe.
I've been given look like the Venom symbiote, but that's a point I think I'll come back to later when I talk about this game's approach to visual cohesion. For now, we do just have to acknowledge and respect the
section
fact that I
from
really am falling from a great height. And I really can't see.
Do you think one day Tex will get? Hold on, give me a second. Do you think one day tech will get so advanced that instead gaming PCs? I mean, I'm just hoping for SAO shit, dude. God, it's gonna be so good.
Very, very far, and there's a huge amount of ground detail retained. While all
Okay,
of this
T.
is
Speaking of, I do want to do a Shadow Motor run. I haven't played that game in years, but I loved it.
happening.
Based that way in a way.
Like, come on, that's just incredible. Zelda did the same sort of thing, but with nowhere near this level of graphical fidelity. This is a genuine first, and this
I'd say
Black
both.
Space engine of theirs should probably
I like
be
both.
renamed Black Magic. On the way to my next objective,
Better
some bandits
story,
on the road
war
make
has
it
better
frisky, and I'm
gameplay?
only
Yeah.
too happy to oblige. This happens quite a bit during my playthrough.
The second one. I want to play the second one because I love that shit. It's so good.
So I'm going to guess that the map is regularly dotted with ne'er-do-wells to keep things interesting.
Get on with it then!
After that, we've got a good old-fashioned outpost clearing. Some bandits have taken hold of the local keep, and by killing them all,
Full
they're
dive
liberating
attack.
for the region. A recent gameplay showcase revealed that there are many such outposts to liberate throughout your playthrough. It's here I learn I can light the tip of an arrow to use it to burn things, and after that, the game starts to take a very confusing turn. So, this game does this thing where you can view memories of events in the past, but it does it in the strangest way
Hey, Ice,
imaginable.
welcome in.
Every other
How are
game just
you?
asks you to walk up to a thing and click on it, and then the memory plays. But here it involves this weird helmet thing, which you need to equip by opening a radial menu, switching to a new tab in that radial menu, pressing R2 to equip the helmet while mousing over it. You then need to close and reopen the same radial menu to select the helmet, and that will then push you to a new menu where the complete
I feel like it's just Black Desert, like menus and shit. What the fuck? Holy shit! This drug trip has so many stops. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, this is UI hell, dude. This is like Black Desert UI. What the fuck?
complete collection of memories, both obtained and unobtained, is
But yeah,
visible,
the gun girl
and they're
spin-off
divided
is
into
peak.
certain menus and sub-menus, and man, it's a total mess in there.
This is
and it only
nearing marathon levels. Yeah, I'm really
gets
worried.
worse later on because more menu categories get
I mean-
added, and later
Can they fix it in 14 days? Or a week, maybe? I don't know.
on, you'll also need to shine your lamp on potential memories to unlock the full memory, and man, it's bad. It's easily the most egregious example of Crimson Desert piling on needless complexity, with the result being a belabored control scheme, unnecessary menus, and a confusing experience. Like, it really could have just had a clickable thing, trigger a cutscene, and nothing would have been lost. Right after that, I unlocked this force lift thingy, which I didn't get to use too much of during the demo, and after that, we settle into the major quest line, which is actually just a bunch of side quest feeling activities. One dude has had his cow stolen, and he wants you to
See, okay, that's what I was worried about. Like, it's a lot of quests are gonna just feel like side quests, even though it's the main story. I don't
find it.
know.
Spoiler alert, bandits took it. Another dude has his cart or something stolen. Spoiler alert, bandits took it. Finally, a little boy lost his precious sheep and he wants you to find
Wait,
it.
hold up, sorry. I'm worried the concept of full dives is neat, but I want a full-time tabletop simulator. Oh my god. Not to be corny, but Expedition Store Trust brought me to literal tears. I'm so tired. I'm sorry. Most games I can't get too invested in. Yeah, it just eventually I just get bored. Baby Punch is real? What? You can punch a baby?
Spoiler alert, the sheep just wandered off.
Oh wait, I
Each of these
missed it.
objectives, boy lost his cart or something stolen. Spoiler alert, bandits took it. Finally, a little boy lost his precious sheep and he wants you to find it. Spoiler alert, the sheep just wandered off. Each of these objectives sounds very mundane, but the explanation for them is anything but.
Kick
Fully
the
voiced
baby,
cutscenes
no.
featuring grief-stricken characters, the voice
You're a
actors really
monster.
working to make you care about that lost heifer.
My home has been blasted to splinters, bits here and there. And then bandits took every last one of my cows.
If I was to guess, I think this is tugging at the same cause as something like The Witcher or Kingdom Come, games where the drudgery of peasant life matters to the people living in it. It's not particularly gripping storytelling at this point, but I think
Put
it's
the
doing
man
the
out
job
of his
building the
misery?
world
Oh my
and
God.
building the story slowly, rather than just immediately thrusting you into these world-saving stakes. By the way, 2 out of the 3 of these quests also involved this weird memory helmet thing, and one of them was even more confusing because I didn't even
That's the
realize
fun
I'd
of
picked
no-
up
what
or
is wrong
activated
with you
something that would
guys?
let
Holy
me see
shit.
a new memory.
You're
So again, I found
monsters.
myself quite confused. And this is where that part of the demo ended, and like I said at the top, it was overall pretty rough. Because you're being introduced to so many new things, and because the puzzles you're solving aren't always clear, it does result in a lot of stop and start, where it feels like your fun is constantly being interrupted. Pile onto that some game systems that feel a little unnecessary, and a fairly ho-hum set of opening chapters to the main quest, and I would say that Crimson Desert does not open
like carrying a
strongly.
sheep
But to be perfectly honest with you,
versus BG3? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's just... I don't know. I'm on the side where the bandit takes his shoes too. Holy shit, that's evil. You're so evil, dude. Feels like this... feels like this game is completely trying to ignore the main quest and go in the direction that seems so fun. Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? World, that emote, dude. It's just so fucking funny. Like Skyrim, yeah. That's the vibe I'm getting.
I really don't care all that much because this would not be the first game to have a slow, awkward start. Some games are just like that, and given the ambition of Crimson Desert, I don't begrudge it some awkwardness as it gets
Evil
going.
party.
It certainly helped that I was able to skip over to the game's end state after that, where I got to see a fuller picture of what to expect. There were a number of activities I did here, which sadly I don't have footage for since capture wasn't permitted for these sections, so I'll just have to show you other
Also,
B-roll
thank
and
you-
trailer footage. But yeah, the first thing I did was
What the fuck is that name? Adolf Rizzler. What the oh. Dude. What the fuck, dude? That's so good. That made, oh my god. Fuck, man. Oh, it's so good. Oh, thank you. Holy shit.
boss battle. It was set in a large, knee-high puddle in the middle of a battlefield.
Oh my
and
god.
the boss could command water, so he kept erupting geysers beneath me that would immediately fling me like 100 meters into the air. He looked fantastic. He had a broad moveset. It was just...
Also, off topic, any reference to Ember came to you from Leaflet? Wait, okay, who's Ember exactly? I don't know who that is. I have no idea. Old Ale just, or old Adele just like friendship windmills, Turtle Mountain. Oh my god.
a cool boss fight. I will say though that the combat in Crimson Desert is very much about you get out what you put in.
Who is Ember, Dan? Ember versus fan at Strays? Oh, no, man. No. No resemblance whatsoever. Emberline? Never heard of him. Maybe I did? I have no idea I did. Okay, so the thing is, I don't really watch VTubers, like, whatsoever. I kind of just, like, stick to my lane. I kind of just do my own thing. Because I just get, like... I don't know. I just get like super. I don't know, in my own head. So I'd rather not like compare myself to other people and just like worry about myself. Does that make sense? I mean, I hope it does. I don't know. I just don't like. Yeah, I just don't watch other VTubers essentially. Um, Femboy is the new. Wait, Femboy is new to the femboy scene. Dude, I'm not an actual femboy, man. Leaf just calls me that, dude. Oh my god, if I was an actual femboy, bro, I'd probably be a like. If I was an actual femboy, I'd probably be viewed as like a disappointment to my parents. I can totally see my parents just like being utter. I would be utter dead to them. I don't want to be that. That's rough. You are? I'm not a femboy. I'm not a femboy. It's literally just a joke. And Lee says it all the time, and that's it. Emperor? Oh, I see. No, I never heard of him. So, hello, Pile. Welcome in. Yeah. You say that, but we saw you point out the skirt on the Amazon one time. Remember that? Remember that, Lee? Huh. The safe space. God.
As a character action style action game, it's less about difficulty and more about your own expression. I was able to sort of button mash my way through this boss using only a fraction of what the combat sandbox has to offer, but I was also watching the developers play, and they could do some truly crazy things.
Like a femboy.
All the stuff you've seen in the trailer.
What the fuck does that even mean? Okay.
Trailers and gameplay showcases.
I swear, watching Leaflet and Kirsch with the contrast of references to femboys caused me to Google Oligo to push your femboy clothing ads to me on YouTube. I feel like that's a you problem. I don't know. You're not. Wait, you're not. You just sent to 50-year-old Leon, dude. I just want to be as cool as Leon when I'm 50. That's it. That's literally it. I don't want anything else in life. I swear I don't search for that stuff. If you say so. It's funny because you were too sane to be a femboy, but we have ways to keep you on your toes. Yeah, pretty much. That's the vibe you got. Demo Lord Ready. Leaf was just clowning. I don't think I want to look that up, dude. I don't want to get wild references or recommendations or anything.
There, I really am looking forward to getting to grips with this combat system, which by the way is quite flexible in the sense that there's multiple weapons and different martial arts styles attached to them, and a whole skill tree that unlocks new abilities and combos. After that, I did a really lengthy puzzle sequence that started on the ground and involved using my grapple to route power through a massive tower that activated a lift that took me all the way to the Sky Isles, where I had to do even more puzzles that involved powering up ancient relics. That eventually led me to a fantastic boss fight called the Crow Father or Crow something. Anyway, he was the crow dude who attacked a murder of crows at his back, and he looked sick as hell.
Okay, yeah, no, I've seen so many of those
within the Sky Isle section, and it was quite tricky to be.
I feel like the only, I mean, okay, there's like pole arm, there's axe, there's rapier, there's greatsword, there's sword and shield. I'm pretty sure there's a long sword, and yeah, I think. I don't know. That's what I can name off the top of my head. That's it. Also, hello, press. Welcome in. Gotta keep your phone. Wait, gotta keep your phone away from the speaker shouting femboy. Also, don't let your friends take your phone. What the fuck, dude? Oh my god. Hand-to-hand combat? Oh yeah, there's hand-to-hand combat in this as well. But I don't know. I mean, I played so much fucking BDO. This combat just looks like a slower BDO, which is fine. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'll have to play it and see, essentially.
Be honest, much more challenging than the water boss actually. Did another boss after that was equally ferocious, a very Nordic coded dude in command of a stronghold. A lot of destruction in that encounter actually, something I haven't spoken about yet. A lot of the structures in your environment are fully destructible.
Yeah, pretty much.
They will splinter and smash as you hurl goons into them, or if you pick them up using your force grab
Never played
ability.
BDO? Yeah, I mean, if you never played BDO, like, go for it. This game is, like, goated. But if you played a shit ton of BDO, nothing. I think this game won't be that interesting, sadly. I mean, will I play it? Yeah. Am I hoping to be pleasantly surprised later on, like at endgame? Yeah, totally. But for now, it just doesn't seem gripping for me, anyway.
Space engine is surprisingly reactive, a real accomplishment given that it doesn't sacrifice any visual fidelity to get there. After that, I was in the free roam section, and this is where I could seamlessly switch to other characters, each with their own fighting styles, and I'm told they also have their own storylines, though they appear to be more focused on side content than the main storyline. This is where I could summon that dragon and fly around wherever I like. I immediately started doing strafing runs on a nearby farm, blowing up buildings.
I do like the idea of puzzles, though, exploring. Still enjoy it. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy the game. I'm just like, I'm just worried about it. I'm just worried that like I might not like it as much as I should. So I don't know. I'm just worried.
Which earned me a criminal status, which I didn't know existed to that point. I was also able to control this mech suit thing, which you see in the trailers, which is kind of like a walking tank in that it moves slowly and it's mainly focused on firing artillery. Absolutely no idea how this fits into the main game, but it is undeniably cool.
Well now, don't you smell fragrant?
And so that was my play session, and I walk away from it, like I said, really excited, though I do have a few question marks that I'm watching closely. Obviously, the control scheme and game systems, I assume I'll eventually get to the point where they feel intuitive.
Yeah, I mean, games now let us down. Yeah, pretty much. You'll probably love it. Give it 3 years when it goes on sale. No, I'll buy it on launch. It's fine. I mean, I'm interested enough to play it. Also, a game I do want to play, definitely a game series, is I want to do Witcher 2 and Witcher 3 at some point. I have never played those games. I played a bit of Witcher 3 and that's it. I never really finished it. Remember, if game sucks, we always have marathon. No, dude, no, fuck that game. Shit. Witcher 1 is the best. I mean, I've seen Witcher 1. I kind of spoil myself on that, so like, you know, although I heard it's getting a remake, so might be good.
All the systems make sense.
My main life service was STO as a huge Star Trek fan, but I now play Uma Musume in mostly single player games. I try to play let's see, I try to play a shit ton of games. Mostly I play with Leaf and whatever I'm interested in. And then I love like co-op games a lot, I noticed. And then I do love SWTOR, that Star Wars MMO by BioWare. It's so good. It's so fucking goated. Oh my god. You have all kinds of choices. Like, it's BioWare, so you have like good and bad choices. It's so good, dude. Oh my god, that is crazy for an MMO.
But I also leave room for the possibility that this many game systems means that many of them aren't as refined as they should be. The story is feeling a little uneven so far, so hopefully it finds some rhythm soon. I do think the mishmash of various visual elements is quite jarring, and I'm wondering if that eventually makes sense more than it does now. You've got a traditional medieval setting, but also Tears of the Kingdom style Sky Isles architecture. You've got NPCs dressed like Gandalf the White.
I feel this is literally, like, what he's explaining is literally just BDO art style. I mean, it takes place in the same universe. It's like a prequel. I get it, but like this is literally just BDO. style.
Also mechanized elements that feel steampunk.
Oh, I'm super
You've got
excited.
this Venom symbiote wings thing. You've got a loading sequence that feels like Assassin's Creed, and it's all just thrown together. At least that's how it feels right now, and I'm hoping it finds more congruence as the game goes on. But I want to finish by coming back to that Dragon's Dogma comparison from before. I kind of get the feeling that Crimson Desert is going to be playing in that same space. It's not a sandbox game, but it does feel very sandbox-led, where the game systems and the lands you're journeying through are the stars of the show. I'm really excited to journey through this landscape, seeing what adventures befall me, because I suspect those things, the off the beaten track moments, are going to be where this game really shines. I spoke to 2 developers who refused to give me a definitive playtime for the game, but they both guessed it was about 60 hours for an average playthrough, with many more hours after that for people who are looking to do absolutely everything on offer. We've clearly got a big adventure ahead of us when it drops on March 19th. I don't think I'll have a review up at that time.
But TF and BDO, broom and BDO to clinic, clean and chimney. No, dude, fuck. Wish I had a consistent group. I have a huge shelf of tabletop games. Yeah, no, that's what sucks. Like, legit, finding a good, like, D&D group or, like, someone who can play, like, tabletop games, like, actively, that's hard. Online games, it's super easy because you can just, like, DM someone and say, hey, do you want to play this? And that's it. So I get it. Totally get it.
Time since I'm going to be away at GDC, but I do plan to circle back to it when I'm home, so do look forward to a full review a little later in the month. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
Very excited to be shouting out the sponsor.
I don't know, guys. Like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's... I don't know. I mean, every trailer, I'm just...
Parkour, body slams, and magical weapons are all of what we got to experience in our hands-on time with Crimson Desert, but does it live up to the hype, or will it fall into the abyss? Well, thanks to Pearl Abyss for inviting us to an exclusive event. Recently, 2-6 and I got the chance to go hands-on with a new build of Crimson Desert from the start of the game. We were both able to play over 6 hours and focus on different things to answer some of the burning questions that you may have. And with that in mind, we thought it would be good to bring you 2 videos based off our play sessions.
I just want to see benchmarks on PCs. I mean, I can't imagine PC is going to look too different from what we're seeing. You know, it's not going to be like cyberpunk levels of like PC, but, you know, maybe. We'll see. That's why I could never get into tabletop. I'm even more antisocial. I see. I mean, not everyone's like social. I get it, you know. I'm sorry, it's 4 a.m. right now. I can't form a cohesive thought. It's really cool out. Yeah, no, I mean, Kingdom Come 2 isn't my kind of game personally, but like it does look pretty good.
And the other from 2-6. Normally, as you know, I would be the one presenting and voicing over the videos, but today we're going to be hearing from the man 2-6 himself. So let's dive in and you can tell us how are you feeling about Crimson Desert down below.
Hey guys, I got to play Crimson Desert 2 and it was kind of crazy.
My monster. I'm drinking I'm drinking Mountain Dew Kickstart right now, but I don't know. I think I just shouldn't be awake right now, but it's fine.
Mind, I haven't done a VO in ages. I do make the videos, like over 50% of them, but I am rusty with the VO, so just bear with me. Okay, let's talk Crimson Desert. My playthrough was all about speed and getting through as much content as I could. I got to see some fun stuff that I think you guys will like. So let's go over all the stuff that I captured and learned. Personally, I wanted to know how deep the game was going to be, and about all the cool gameplay stuff that would have me hooked. As my playthrough was focused on getting as far through the preview section as I could, I was able to get to the boss fight, the Horn Splitter, so I got to experience what that was like. The exciting thing about the battle is that it showed that there could be a...
Oh yeah, you can do a primary Lotus in this shit. So pretty good, pretty fun.
Challenge in the game if you want it. This was one
Fight
of the
the
first
broom,
boss fights, and it
no.
already had that feeling of needing to get good and learn the patterns. However, I did go into the boss fight without any prep, so I didn't have any skills or consumables, meaning that the fight felt pretty brutal. When I did get around to assigning skills and using the camp outside for food, I was able to defeat the boss easily. Without the food, I was just getting two-shot. Another cool thing, in the boss fight, you were able to use the observation mechanic to learn the evasive dodge ability. As each time you performed it, it would slow down time, giving you a chance to learn the ability for yourself. Something that we did.
Alright, that's pretty cool. I will admit that. That's cool.
Learn is that these skills can just be purchased from the skill tree instead of waiting, meaning if you want a particular build, you don't have to wait. Though I do think the preferred method will end up being to observe, so you don't end up using any skill points. What we love is, like Elden Ring, defeating
Best
bosses
weapon,
will give you
ain't no
some
way.
gear, and this may be a weapon, armor, or some other useful item. For defeating the Horn Splitter, I got the Sword of the Lord. Abyss cores function like slotted skills, and for this weapon, it allows you to send out waves during the final hit of your combo. The weapon itself didn't do any crazy damage, but we're sure that upgrading it at the smithy will probably...
I'm kind of getting Skyrim vibes. And that's good. That's pretty good.
Reduce the damage. And from the endgame portion of the demo, we got to play with some pretty crazy weapons. So there's definitely going to be some Abyss cores out there that we're going to have
question
fun
is,
with.
can I upgrade
One of the
them?
most overlooked features of Crimson Desert is the ability to go into first person.
Why?
This really shows off the game's visuals. While playing, it gave a better sense of the environment. And this isn't just something that you're able to access at certain parts of the game or from specific parts of the map. You can change to first person at any time you want, and if you want a closer look at Cliff or any of the other characters, there's an option to flip the camera around to take a closer peek. I would just like to quickly mention the cooking as well, because it had way more depth than I was expecting.
Imagine
I didn't
Plus
fully
Sierra.
get to
Oh
understand
god,
it, but from
first
the time
person
I had
combat
hands-on
time.
with
No.
it's very much like Breath of the
So
Wild.
can clean the chimney fat. You're addicted to the chimney,
As you
man.
have
Holy
recipes
fuck.
that you can make, or you can just throw in whatever you want using the improvise system into the pot. Just
More
like Red
damage
Dead
fights,
and other
oh my God.
games, you have a hunting feature. So you can track down animals and skin them for meat, meaning that there's probably some crazy meals that you can make for buffs and other items. Also, I got to experience the dragon, and that thing is crazy. Unfortunately, I do not have footage for it because that is part of the endgame save, but trust me when I say that this thing was super fun. It isn't just fun flying around on the dragon, because you can also shoot fireballs and breathe fire and wipe out whole platoons. It sounds pretty OP, but the soldiers also get upgraded in the endgame, and they've got some crazy weapons that can shoot you down. So it isn't as busted as it may seem. Going back to the start of the demo, there's a short...
Well, hold on. What I was thinking, after I left last time, Astray is that, new games are often, played by streamers. It's the early bird gets the worm kind of thing. And as a streamer, you can get lots of new viewers. I mean, that, you know, that's what I do, right? But like, I mean, every new game has, you know, big streamers playing it. So essentially, why scroll down to some like 30, 40 view streamer when you can just like view someone who has like 700 and that's it, you know? And that's what sucks about, like, you know, I really just want to do this full time one day. God, I just, Leaf is pushing me so hard, and I just want to make her proud. So I'm doing everything I can just to be entertaining, I guess. At least I hope I'm entertaining. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I just want to be like Leaf, essentially. So, can the horse's balls be shrinking the weather? Alright, I'm gonna just play it. Fuck it.
story
Oh my
section that
god.
sets up the downfall of the Grey Mains. Then, you're placed on a floating island called an Abyss Island. This island serves as a tutorial section for the game, showing you how to jump and use abilities like the Blinding Light. These islands are a regular occurrence, and one of them later on shows you how to use the Zelda-like Master Hand. In this game, it's called the Axiom Force ability. The Master Hand ability is really cool, as you can use it to complete puzzles, and in the skill tree there seems to be the ability
doing a
for you
good
to
job.
purchase a skill that can use it
in a
for
Skygrass
mobility or
video.
crazy movement. Something
I
I
hope
really
so. That'd be
enjoyed was
cool.
messing
That'd be
around with
rad.
the game's physics, and pulling down the trees using the axiom force. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the tree to break, but I do think there's a skill that you can purchase later on that will allow you to use the trees as catapults, which is really cool. Another skill that you can unlock through the observation mechanic is
Astray was
Nature's
the
Grasp.
original
This is
target
an
of
awesome skill that allows you to pick up
Asmon's
massive
social experiment,
objects.
but never
While it's
wore a
mainly for
hat.
quest
What do you mean?
objectives,
Wait, what
it
do you
can be
mean?
used
Oh,
in
what
the
the
open
fuck?
world and in combat. I was able to pick up a tree and use it as a huge club. It's stuff like this that really gave the game a sandbox feel. On the other hand, the game is hilarious because 1 second you're
Why-
picking up trees with
Why the fuck? What
on
the
the other hand, huge club. It's stuff like this that really gave the game a sandbox feel. On the other hand,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like not into sandbox games. I kind of like what's the word? Kind of like order and not really do whatever the fuck you want. Does that make sense? I mean, I like a clearer vision, I guess. I don't know. It's complicated.
the game is hilarious because 1 second you're picking up trees with magical
You're legit.
abilities.
I know, Dan, but like, since it matters who comes back, you know. Because you know I can get rated, right? I can get 200, 300, but it matters who comes back. And Leaf is pushing me so hard, and I truly appreciate her. But I just need to be more. I just need to try harder, essentially. So.
And then next, you're whipping out a broom for a spot of cleaning. One side quest actually had me cleaning someone's chimney. The side quests seem to be full of odd jobs like cleaning, retrieving cats, or even helping locate bandits. It actually makes for a nice change of pace and feels very GTA-y. One of the highlights of the play session was that
Kick also pays better. Like Twitch does 50-50% if you're not a partner plus, I think. If you are a partner plus, it's 70-30. But yeah, Twitch is not really great at like payouts or anything, so you know, kind of sucks.
To the castle of Hanan. This was part of the main mission to get into the castle and locate a hidden room that will grant me access to the Sky Island.
Wait, hold on. I think my main problem with that is the lack of enemy variety. I mean, again, like, you know, he said there's crazy enemies at endgame, so like, you know, we'll see.
Wasn't as simple as just walking into the castle, as each of the entrances were guarded, and if the guards didn't like the look of you, they would turn you
There's a
back
chance
or
you show
even
too
worse,
much-
attack you. The
too much
correct way
hip.
to get into the castle was to
As a
simply throw on a
VTuber and get
Hananian
banned on
outfit,
Twitch, yeah,
but
real.
I wanted to see if we could gain access using some shenanigans. It is totally doable thanks to the parkour system, which is actually super impressive and gives you a bunch of freedom. I ran around the castle using the side of the cliff to trace the castle walls, and I finally found a bit of the wall that was jumpable. So I jumped over, but bear in mind that this is my first time using parkour, so I didn't think they would actually let me do it.
That isn't parkour though. I mean, it's literally just hopping a fence. I want to call it parkour. I really hate how people call like just like any system with like movement tech like parkour. Like literally, it's, to me, this is utterly peak parkour. And I love this game. I do want to play AC Unity, as well as Syndicate. Those are my favorite AC games of all time. I love it. Like, look at this shit. Look how cool this is. Is the game too? Yeah, it's so good. Like, look how sick this shit is. It's actually peak. Oh my god. You know what? I fucking hate. One thing that bothers me, right, is that I love this game back when it came in out in 2014. I love this game to death, and people were saying, "Oh, it's another AC game." You know, people were bashing this game so fucking hard because they were so tired of the formula, and that's what shifted their whole thing. Oh my god, thank you, Dan. You're gonna have to sub, dude. Oh my god. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, people hated this game so much. I think that's why they shifted over to the RPG games and less about pure parkour. On a way to a Fuma, in a way. Thank you. But yeah, what pisses me off about people is that people hated this game when it came out. People fucking loathe this game. And 10 years later, people like I see Twitter all the time. People are saying like, "Oh, this is when AC was peak," and "Oh, this is when the fucking this was peak parkour." I actually hate people. I really fucking hate people. I feel like just the internet hates shit for the sake of hating it. All right, good night, all. Have a good night. Thank you for coming. And it pisses me off because it can make or break games essentially. Oh, thank you, Dan. That is so sweet. I really appreciate it. The Switch is what made me want to quit. Yeah, I have no interest in playing the RPG PC games. Pretty much. You're not wrong. Perhaps I misjudged you, meme. Yeah, and I hate that. I hate that, dude. I really wish we got like. I mean, okay, we did get Syndicate, but this is just peak parkour. I love it. And this game has co-op too. Fuck, I forgot. But yeah, I will play Unity and I will play Syndicate on stream one day. AC 1 and 2. Yeah, but like the parkour, the reason I'm showing you this is the motions. Like, look how fucking fluid and stylistic this is. It's so good. Yeah, the parkour is the smoothest it's ever been in this game. And they ditched it. They said, "Oh yeah, let's make one more game with it in Syndicate," and then they just that's it. That's it. This is what we get. Now it's just RPG slop. And I hate it. I miss this game, dude. I miss it every fucking day. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, literally, look at this shit.
You a bunch of freedom. I ran around the castle using the side of the cliff to trace the castle walls. And I finally found a bit of the wall that was jumpable. So I jumped over, but bear in mind that this is my first time using parkour, so I didn't think they would actually let me do it.
It's not fucking parkour. It's literally just hopping over a fence and jumping on a rooftop. Like, it's not even...
I thought there would be an invisible wall blocking it, but it did actually let me in, which was really cool. Once inside, I thought it was going to be an easy trip, but there were tons of soldiers. I ran across the courtyard, and this alerted all the guards in the area.
Hold on. Did you get a plate at that? Oh, okay. But do you miss it more than Marathon? Not Marathon, bro. Don't worry about Leaf. Hold on. I think she'll be fine, whatever you do. Hold up. I think just because a big streamer is doing a review on a game doesn't mean I don't want to watch from your opinion on it. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I will play this game. I just hope that it'll pleasantly surprise me, essentially. AC 1 through AC Revelations is mandatory viewing. Black Flag was the best standalone game. The rest doesn't matter. Interesting. Wasn't the co-op the thing hate? No, people didn't hate that. People didn't hate the people thing hated was, I think people were so tired of like the typical AC like open world. Plus like it was really buggy at launch, but they solved that. People were just like tired of the typical gameplay formula essentially. See, I don't know, guys. I do want to give I do want to play Skull and Bones one day if it doesn't shut down, because like it does, I don't know, it looks like I might just try it, but like look at this shit. Look at this shit, bro. It's kind of cool. It's kind of grand. Look at this shit. What am I watching? Sea of Thieves. See, I tried Sea of Thieves, dude. I got really bored. I played it. I just get really bored of Sea of Thieves like within an hour or something. It's not for me. I don't know. I might be weird. Who knows? Also, Walkman, Rito, hello.
Ended up being chased.
So good night,
Luckily,
world.
you can
Bye-bye.
use parkour and line of sight to lose aggro. So I was
Play it.
able to
Who's
jump
a
up
pirate?
and over and
Oh god.
of the wall. When I was really impressed by the parkour system, was that I was able
Subnautica?
to
No, I'm sorry. I'm not really into the Subnautica games. It just doesn't really interest me, you know. I do okay. A game I do want to play. My favorite game series of all time. The GOAT. I want to play Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix and Kingdom Hearts 3, but I want to mod the fuck out of Kingdom Hearts 3 because Kingdom Hearts 3 has some of the best mods I've ever seen in gaming. Like, they totally add so much shit to the gameplay. It's insane. It's fucking abysmal how much they add. Wait. Does really bored mean you keep getting robbed by other players, or actually bored? I don't know. Maybe I should give it another chance. We'll see. Because like I don't know. I played it like I don't think I gave it a fair shot. Yeah, I have seen the Sora boss fight mod.
have a small overhang.
Mods add a lot
and
of
this
replay
system
value.
actually extends to the whole wall, so you can climb up most of the walls in the game, which is really, really cool. Strangely, once inside, the guards didn't actually care that I was there, which was just something that I found funny. But the game really did give me those Assassin's Creed Skyrim vibes where you're causing absolute chaos. It doesn't seem limited to the castle as well, as later I was able to sneak into the monastery using a combination of an outfit that I took off one of the guards and parkour. It's all very cool and I absolutely loved it. Another thing that I was interested in trying out were the mini games, and while I wasn't able to experience many of them, I was able to try the arm wrestling, which as a Monster
I
Hunter
really
fan,
don't care
was a
about mini
welcome
games.
inclusion.
Open world
And it
games.
basically worked the same as Monster Hunter. You just spam the button to fill the bar, and the first one to fill the bar would be the winner. Looking through the menus, it seems like the game will include over 20 minigames, which is cool considering the size and depth of everything else. Combat was at the top of my list for things I wanted more hands-on time with. I have been able to experience it before at other game shows, but
I remember maxing everything out. Dude, I love Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh my god.
So much time has passed, and the developers have made changes like reducing the amount of stamina consumed by performing actions, so I wanted to see how it
Gwent's
felt now.
okay. Gwent's
Personally, I think that the combat is one of the best parts of Crimson Desert. It's both satisfying and can be challenging if you encounter the right enemy. You have tons of options. There's the ability to block enemy attacks with your shield, you can parry incoming attacks with a perfect
love to
guard,
watch
or
Yulish
use
and
any
Rana
number of combos. The combat
roll
is
in
heavily
the
tied
CPs.
to your skill.
I mean, I'm down. I mean, if it's like with Leaf and Rana in them, yeah, I'm totally down to do that.
And during the preview, we finally got a look at the skill tree, which is pretty expansive. Most of the nodes can be broken down into sub-nodes that you can see when you click on them. These sub-nodes grant you additional skills or passive abilities, and each side of the skill tree is focused on a particular part of your kit, like combat, axiom abilities, or movement. Each of the abilities makes a massive difference.
Okay, this game does. All right, so that kind of answered my question. This game does have a lot of depth. Um, so yeah, I think I'll be getting it and playing it. I'm curious on how my end game build will go, but yeah, it does seem like a fun RPG.
Difference as well. For example, during a fight with a mini boss called Mateus, I was able to learn the ability called Pump Kick, which hilariously allowed me to boot enemies to the ground. After unlocking that ability, I was able to completely destroy the boss. However, my favorite part of the combat was the wrestling moves. They are 10 out of 10 to perform. For those that don't know, there are WWE style wrestling moves that you can unlock via the skill tree, and they are extremely powerful. You can literally unlock the ability to close out enemies in one hit,
Telekinetic gummy hand throw? Yeah, no, you definitely can. There's no way.
The crazy thing is that you're even able to do this against bosses, and it does some chunky damage. Unfortunately,
I can't wait to
don't
spend
have footage
hours
of it,
playing
but
that.
during the endgame save that we got access to, you can use the upgraded abilities to repeatedly
Also,
chain
wait.
wrestling moves.
Idea. Okay, so I didn't know this. Death Stranding 2 comes out on the 19th as well. And I have not finished Death Stranding 1. I think I'm almost done with it, but like, would you guys want to watch Death Stranding? Not now, probably tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. I have a collab with Leaf. Never mind. Not tomorrow. No, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. After the collab with Leaf. Yeah, Death Stranding for sure. Yeah.
And
Hold on. Let me scroll up. There's also the pirate game that's not out yet. Windows. I've seen that. That does sort of look good. Oh, I already have it, Dan. Thank you though.
Extremely satisfying. Overall, I love the combat, and I think that you guys will like it too. Another interesting tidbit that I found out is that you can essentially transfer skills between characters. You only need to buy them once on one character, and each character's skill tree.
My major gripe with this game is I wish it was just the dude. I am never gonna play the girl or not the orc either. I can't. I just wish it was one dude, so they could like focus on him and focus on his skills, and that's it.
Actually pretty extensive. This makes it super easy if you're leveling up multiple characters. You only need to purchase a skill type once, and you'll have it for all characters. So essentially, grapple skills, you purchase them on Cliff, and then it'll be available on all the other characters for you to use. They're not going to be copy and paste skills as well. They're going to be completely different animations, different ways of executing. It's all very cool. For example, on Damian, the female warrior you can choose, that pump kick skill that I talked about earlier changes from a double kick into a spinning kick that can be chained in.
Why can't I do this as a man,
which
dude?
Is crazy.
I want to do this as a dude. That's sick.
So cool. Although I enjoyed the majority of my time on the game, there were a few issues that I encountered while playing. The first thing to
you gonna leave play PG3? Oh yeah, no, I mean we're definitely gonna play it one day. I'm so fucking down to do that because I like legit I only played maybe 4-5 hours every run I will try to get in with Baldur's Gate 3. I would get 4 to 5 hours with like a group, and then my friends wouldn't want to play anymore. They just kind of like ditched it. So yeah, I mean, I'd be down. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun, actually. You just wanted to wait. What? You just said you wanted female animation as a dude. No, I'm saying, like, I'm not gonna Luxy, no way.
Point out is that the tutorial is definitely needed, and it highlights my biggest issue with the game. The control scheme isn't that great. The game feels pretty unwieldy due to the controls. I often found myself pressing the wrong buttons.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
I usually don't have any problems jumping in games, but this kind of made me feel like the Cuphead meme. Even something as simple as sprint jumping, you have to let go of the sprint button before you're able to press the jump button, which in most games you can press them both at the same time. This actually left me not wanting to jump at all, which is pretty weird because I love parkouring and jumping around in games. They've also opted for a GTA-style sprint system, meaning that you have to constantly tap the sprint button rather than holding, which can be a bit jarring. I think this will be one of the things that causes the most friction from players, and hopefully they'll
That's so weird, bro. What the fuck?
opt to include the ability to rebind buttons, which from the build I played, they did have it for PC with keyboard and mouse, but not for the
Yeah,
controller.
I'm very
I didn't
excited,
see
yeah.
anything in the brief time that I was skimming through the menus for the controller, but maybe it is actually there. I also had some issues with frame pacing and stutters. There was also a crash during the session. However, after speaking to the Pearl Abyss rep, it seems like it could have been an issue with my specific PC station, as everyone else that played didn't have these issues, and all you needed to do to fix it was press the Windows key on the keyboard. They said it was a Windows driver issue, which did seem to match up because the driver would actually reset the refresh rate of the monitor. It is good to point out though, just in case the issue persists into launch, though I do have a feeling that it probably won't. Generally, the game was running at a solid 4K and over 60 FPS plus, which is insane considering the game was using no DLSS. All in all, aside from some issues, I really enjoyed my time in Parallel.
Yeah,
and
no,
can't
I'm
wait
very
to jump
excited
back
for
in.
that.
Anyway,
I
there's
love
loads of footage, and
Divinity
this is
2
only
as well. I
some of the
never
stuff that we
finished
got
that
to
either.
experience. So if there's anything
Oh.
else that you want to see, let me know and I'll drop another video. For example, I got to experience the other characters and the endgame was super fun. Anyway, thanks for watching and subscribe so you can stay up to date on the latest Crimson Desert news.
I mean, I'll get it. I'll play it. It's just, I'm so worried that it's just not gonna be enough. But I don't know. We'll see. It might pleasantly surprise me. I'm hoping it does.